Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pots, Pans, and Priscilla. Today, you guys have been asking for it, the famous salsa recipe from Cinco de Mayo video. So first we have to go get the ingredients, so let's go to the grocery. For this salsa recipe, I really like to use the tomatoes on the vine. And you want to squeeze them and make sure they're not too soft, which those are. You don't want them too hard, just right. So I'm just going to grab 2 of these because my main tomatoes are going to be the roasted canned tomatoes. So with red onion, you're just going to pick like the least ugliest red onion. I don't need that quite that big. This is a good one. You're going to need 2 cloves of garlic, so I'm just going to grab 1 little bunch. So my recipe that I'm using calls for 2 stalks, so go ahead and get a bunch, and this is going to be plenty of green onion. This cilantro is pretty. You do want to get a bunch of cilantro, and you want it to be fresh for salsa. That's important. In my last recipe that we made for Cinco de Mayo, I used the sliced jar jalapenos. This time I'm going to use fresh, but just a warning, like this is where it could get fun. Like it could be way hot or not hot enough. So it's like taking a risk. We're trying to find limes that aren't too hard, but I will use my squeezer, so it'll work. And I'm going to grab 2 of these. So for this, I'm going to get fire roasted because you really want that roasted taste, and it's going to make all the difference. So that's why I like to use canned and fresh tomatoes. So it's important. And I'm going to use 2 cans of this, okay, for our recipe. Hi, how are you? All right, guys, let's head home and make this salsa. I hope you guys enjoyed our fun-filled trip to the grocery store. So now we have our produce. Let's get our spices and make some salsa. You guys go ahead and grab your pen and paper and write this recipe down. Are you ready? We're going to use 1 tablespoon of paprika, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, pinch of salt to whatever your liking is, 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes, about a 1/2 cup of cilantro, 1 jalapeno, make sure you take the seeds out, 2 vine ripe tomatoes, 1 lime that we're going to squeeze, 4 cloves of garlic minced, 2 stalks of your green onion, and a 1/2 of a red onion. So let's get all these things cut up and put in our food processor. One of the cool things about this, guys, is it doesn't really matter how you cut things because you're just trying to get them into a little bit smaller chunks to get them into the food processor. So we're just going to cut, like I said, a 1/2 of red onion, and you don't have to dice it because it's going in there. So that's nice. So I'm just going to take, obviously, the peel off the outside. And I love this salsa, so it's going to last about 14 days because the lime juice is going to be used as like your preservative. So make sure you eat it in 14 days and you will be golden. So we're just going to set this to the side. We'll put that back in the fridge for another recipe. And then you're just going to cut it down the middle into quarters. So just like that. And throw it into your food processor. You may only get a week out of your salsa, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just because your pH is off a little bit. So not a big deal. It's going to taste bitter. Just throw it out. You'll thank me. So again, you're not cutting these to be pretty. You're just cutting them enough to get them into your, I keep wanting to call this a pressure cooker. You are getting them into your food processor. So with the garlic, again, you don't have to cut it, because it's going into the food processor. That's what makes this so easy. On the tomatoes, you're going to cut them in 4s just like you did on your onion. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. Cut things into 4s, big chunks, throw it in the food processor. You see what we're doing here? Okay. For this cilantro, guys, you don't want the big stems in there. The other day I had to pull them out for Isaiah. You kind of want to take them off the stems. Not saying you can't have any of them, but you just don't want all of that in there. So I'm just going to kind of take it and shred it like that. Just like de-stem it. It's a word I just came up with. I'm sure there's a fancy cooking term for it, but we're saying shredding. So we saved this bad boy for last because, I mean, it's a jalapeno. So one of the things I want to remind you guys, if you buy the jalapenos that are already sliced in the jar, they're kind of safer than using these because you never know what you're gonna get. It could be super hot. So just a fair warning, that's what I did last time and it worked out perfect, but I just wanted to use a fresh jalapeno this time. You know, play a game with my family. It's always fun. It smells amazing. So we're just gonna put our lid on and start pulsing. But I have to know how to put the lid on. There we go. So using the food processor is going to give you the restaurant style salsa, which we love. But obviously if you don't have a food processor, you can cut all of these ingredients by hand. It's going to be a different texture, which then makes you feel like it's a different flavor. So this is going to be your best bet. And I love this food processor. My dad got it for me. We're going to link it down below. So check it out and see if it's something that's worth going in your kitchen, because I can tell you you can use it for so many things, and I am loving it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna get someone to grab a chip, give this a test, make sure all the seasonings are right, because again, that's to your liking. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so, and share this video with someone. Everybody likes salsa, right? Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Good. It's a little spicier than last time.
It's a jalapeno.
It's good though.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Like better than jar?
10 out of 10.
Woo-woo.
Yep.
Rookie mistake. I just touched my nose and I have a jalapeno on my hand. I gotta go wash my hands. Oh, I'm fired. Hey guys. Sorry, got distracted right. Yeah. So I like to use the tomatoes on the vine. So do I need to look at you? We had a decoy. Get this awesome salsa recipe that you've so many times been asking for. Why would I say that? That's stupid. I hope everybody, it's the most awkward thing ever, worse than vlogging. Yeah. Like, I'm vegetable shopping while this guy can't tapes me.